good, people? I'm DB. Welcome to the BenchViews Sports Podcast. To the right of me,
Carlos.
to the right of him.
Jarastafari. Anyone want some beer?
Why have you got beer?
Beer for you. Beer for you.
I'm not celebrating anything today.
Pass that over.
Can you explain to me why you've got this beer prop?
Aye, man.
Finish the intro.
Liverpool won the league, man. You know what I mean? Like, obviously Tottenham handed it to them, so it's 5-1. So I'm drowning my sorrows whilst also excited and celebrating the fact I also have to give them a guard of honour as well. You know what I'm saying? So,
Clink to that.
Clink to that.
Clink to that still.
Are you involved?
No, do you know what?
Are you
I'm not
involved?
because they joined us at Man United in terms of like title wins.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
just-
we're both drowning our sorrows and celebrating at the same time. That's the word clink.
What DB? Should we pop it at the same time as well? Or?
Do you know what? I'm a drama
Free-
story. I'm a drama story. Let me drown my story. Let me drown my story.
Are you involved or what's happening?
I forgot to introduce TV Nico sitting across from me.
Yeah, don't
So he's saying,
forget.
are we going to pop this?
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Monetize if you drink this.
Cover it up, gentlemen.
This is depression. This isn't happiness.
It's both.
Hey, yo, this guy's still going.
It's both, man.
DB, you're gonna get yacked because you know you're lightweight, innit?
I needed that. I can't lie.
Oh.
Yeah, it's water, so it's whatever.
I need that clip of that, you know. I just backed all of it. Oh my gosh. People are going to think I have a problem.
All right, let me put this back.
Anyway, sorry. Can we send it back on the show? This is a football show, yeah? Okay.
Congratulations, Liverpool.
We need to talk about the weekly roundup. Congratulations to the Liverpool Reds, Liverpool Football Club. Ran away with the league.
Merseyside Reds.
Honestly,
Didn't even get a third gear.
are we disappointed at the rest of the Premier League? Or
Wow. Whilst DB recovers from that, I would answer his question and say I'm disappointed in Tottenham and Manchester United, most definitely, because what's going on with them two football clubs currently. Very, very embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing, and it's a horrible product that also falls on the Premier League as well because it's bad branding for supposed top 6 clubs to be languishing where they are. So that also does kind of fill into the narrative of
But is that
it's been a horrible season for the Premier League.
Is that maybe credit that maybe the league's got even better, the standard? That these other teams in and around,
That can be argued.
other teams in and around, like the Bournemouth, obviously Villa's now up again. Forest have obviously had a freak season. But
That can
quality
be
in and
argued.
around, obviously the bottom, apart from the bottom 3, that middle part, the quality's gone up maybe.
I agree with you, but also disagree because if you look at it, yeah, Liverpool had a decent points tally. It wouldn't have won the league in the last 2-3 seasons. It's 79, 80 points. It's good, but it probably would have gotten on top 4. So it shows like they're the only team really being a top team. Everybody else is kind of falling behind. It's all kind of been a mess up in the middle. Cool, you got your Villas, your Bournemouths, your Fuller, everybody who's been better. But even if everybody's being better, the best should be better than everyone else.
But in fairness, I don't disagree with you. I think you're spot on as well. But what they're potentially gonna finish on this season is what would have won you the league back in like 2008.
True.
So, and I think back in 2008, I think the quality was better amongst the more top teams. Yeah. So
the Premier League teams were doing 4 Premier League teams in the semi-finals of the Champions League.
I think you can say it for both ways because like you could say the Premier League is more competitive and it's good for teams like Brighton, the Bournemouths, the Fulhams, Villas, whatever, right? But I think you're saying the brand as well. It kind of does disrupt it because to see like it's a tough one because like, to see like these teams like going to Europe, right? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. Anything for them, but then you also expect like a Man United, like a Tottenham, to always be in the Champions League no matter what. And that's just not going to be the case. Well, let's just see how the other Europa League goes, but it's not going to be the case by the looks of it. So,
Do you know what I think needs to happen, yeah? These top teams, the Manchester Uniteds, the Tottenhams, the Arsenals, Liverpools, need to go and shop and tear apart the little teams. You get the Mbeuemos, you get the Adam Whartons, the best of the rest. You tear them apart. I know it sounds very elitist. I know it sounds very...
Historically, that's what Man United used to do.
That's what happens in other leagues.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
that's why, who done that? Klopp done that with Mane.
Fergie was doing it
Wijnaldum.
from the 90s, bro.
You go out, you pick the best of it because Justin Clover is a good player. Is he going to stay at Bournemouth? Because realistically, you go to Bournemouth. Bournemouth in the Europa League is mental. Good for Bournemouth, but is it good for the Premier League?
Evan Nilsson leaving Porto to go sign for Bournemouth is crazy in itself, to be
Bro,
honest with you.
it's the investment in Premier League now.
Yeah.
It's on a different scale, and that's why teams like Bournemouth, teams like Fulham, they can attract big names around Europe into their club, and not even just that, but just keep them there. They're not getting bullied anymore, basically.
Yeah.
You see, Man United, they're linked now with Cunha, right?
He wants to come to us.
He wants to come to us, right? But you don't see that much these days. You don't really see it much at all. There's so many big players like that, probably in Bournemouth, that probably just they won't let go. Who was that team? Newcastle, like, for example, they're not going to let Isak go easily to any Premier League team. He ain't going there that easily. He's probably going to go abroad if anything. I reckon.
Yeah. If he's not staying at Newcastle where they can give him money,
Yeah.
he's maybe going to go Barcelona. I do get what you mean, but yeah, I think that should be the plan, and it will help. I think in the long run, for my club, if we take the top players, it'll be better for us.
Yeah.
You think-
It's good though in a way, because I feel it does give the big teams more chance now to invest into the youth. And I think that's something that as well that United, like I think a lot of players, a lot of teams have sort of shied away from, because they can just say, we can just buy someone's already made.
But in fairness, if you look at Arsenal to a degree, and with all due respect to them as well, who have been challenging, they've introduced Ethan Waneri, Miles Lewis-Skelly, whilst still competing.
Yeah.
So I think finding a good balance is always a good thing. So
Yeah, it is.
Got to respect that as well.
Yeah, and you see that with City nowadays, they were selling a lot of their youngsters away. They sold Morgan Rogers, Cole Palmer. They let go. So I think they need to. That's another club. I think they need to.
But now
focus
even
more.
them though, if you look at them, especially in the FA Cup today, they've introduced O'Reilly.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think they need.
McAtee.
That's what they should be doing. More
Yeah.
now, yeah.
Even who?
Rico Lewis.
Rico Lewis as
Lewis,
well.
yeah.
And then who's the other one? What's Oscar Bob?
McAtee,
Oscar
McAtee.
Bob.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been out for.
Yeah, but he's still like
He's the best.
He's the best out of all of them, really.
You
Yeah.
don't have like a little cameo like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he did. He's back now. I think.
Yeah.
Back now. Yeah.
What a
So
player, man.
I want to ask. The league is essentially over. Liverpool,
Essentially.
it's over. It's over for in terms of who's going to win the league. We got the top five race going on. Relegation's is all set in stone. We want to rate this season out of 10
The overall season.
overall season, because it's over. We're just waiting for some Champions League dogfight.
I'll be so real. Probably like a 3 or 4.
Wow, 3.
I'll
give
say
it
4.
I'll give it like a 6.5, just for the fact that the surprises we've had from like the Forest,
Okay, yeah, fair
the
play.
Bournemouths.
Fair play, yeah, fair play.
Obviously, we want to have a top 2 battle, but Liverpool didn't get that. They just ran through the whole season, basically with no pressure on them. I don't think they felt much pressure.
I don't think.
There was no pressure really put on them.
Why is that though?
I don't know why, innit? my team
That is
apply no pressure.
I think.
Wait. We got him. Liverpool aren't battle tested, remember? They're not battle tested.
Yeah.
They're not battle tested.
This is the battle.
got
If
him.
this, cool. That's fine. Listen,
You have to apologise, apologise.
I will. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm
look
saying?
at
Wait.
And
No,
get
no,
on your knees, and get on your knees.
Yeah,
No,
gone
right
mad.
there, right there. This camera right there.
If you,
Look
What- what
it into the lens, please.
I'm gonna wait for you guys to stop gaslighting me. I'm gonna wait for you guys to raise your voice at me.
Liverpool fans have been getting onto the podcast.
Okay.
Like we're very biased.
Okay.
Allegedly.
So, we would like to give you the space,
Okay.
safe space.
And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong.
So when you guys stop raising your voice, I'll speak.
Am I bad? It's my bad.
What I'll say is, Arne Slott and Liverpool, congratulations, you've won. I may look like the loser today. If this is the battle that you want to win, that's fine. But you can take the my bad, innit? That's what I'll say. Take the my bad. But I can't.
No,
discredit
it's
your
not
win.
take the my bad. It's
No.
my bad. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
My bad. I apologize.
I was wrong.
My bad. I apologize. I don't think I was wrong, but my bad.
You've
I
been
apologize.
proven wrong. They've won the league comfortably.
But you know what I'll say is, like,
yeah.
They didn't even get a third.
look,
Yeah, they didn't.
look who they got chased by. Nobody. They got chased by nobody.
No, fairs.
Like if they
Fairs.
actually got chased,
Fairs.
I would say, oh my gosh, look, under the lights. There was never a point where it was like, don't get
What's so
twisted.
weird about it?
They
They even gave
bare points away.
Arsenal, like chances to catch up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
as well. They
yeah,
actually
yeah,
did as well.
true.
So they still fumbled. I don't get it.
Why is going back to Arsenal, bro?
Arsenal drew
Because
13 games, you know.
Finished
They
second.
drew 13 games.
You got to remember what Arteta done with that squad that he had in and around the season. Bro, Liverpool had a clean run. We did not have a clean run.
You've had a clean run for the last three,
Yeah,
bar this year,
yeah.
2 years.
And
See, we're gonna-
unfortunately, we had to compete with
We're
a
going to
mad
go on a
City side.
tangent. But as I said, my bad. Cool.
It is bad.
Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Congratulations, Liverpool. Premier League season, you said a 3, you said a 6. Nico?
I think there's a lot of bad things. So I'm gonna say 5. I think one of the worst things I didn't like as well was the fact that the promoted teams just went down so easy as
That's
well.
a good shout. That's a great
I
shout.
think that gap between the Championship and Premier League needs to have some sort of bridge.
Yeah.
No, but
There
that's
at
what-
least.
it's going back to like those teams in the middle, how much they've developed. I think they've gone quite clear on now.
But that's what I'm saying. The
It's
Premier League
hard
is
for the new
so,
teams
is
to
so
come up.
heavily
I think
invested now.
I think it all about but it boils down to investment.
and
But look at,
yeah.
got to remember, look how far where Bournemouth come from.
Even Brentford.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Things like that.
And they've got one of the
Yeah.
lowest
But,
spends.
because
but
you could say Bournemouth, but Bournemouth have bought Justin Kluivert. They've bought Evan Nilsson from a Champions
no,
League
but-
Porto, bro. Like that's
But
that's
look
real
at-
investment.
Yeah, but look where they've come from. They've sustained.
Oh, sustainably, slowly.
And
Yeah,
then
okay, fair
build.
enough. Yeah.
So I think
fair
that
enough.
that's a big. That's a very negative in my point of view because it kills the. I remember years ago when you see whole City surviving Premier League on the last day, Fulham surviving.
West Brom on the last
Oh, no,
day.
no.
Leeds surviving last days and stuff like that. That's what the Premier's about as well.
Aston Villa a
Aston
few
Villa,
years
that's
ago
what
with Jack
the
Grealish.
Premier's
yeah.
about. And nowadays, 2 seasons now where the 3 teams that were Premier go back straight back down.
And they've got a whole month left of football to play.
And I can't remember most of the teams that are coming up. I've seen them being a bit impressive, but I don't see them beating everyone else there.
Can I say something? I'm an impartial pundit, but can I just speak for most of the Premier League fans when I say, please don't make Sheffield United come back up, please. They're one of the most pointless teams. They're one of the most pointless
And
teams to
Leeds.
come up. Leeds are a bit there because in the past Leeds have played entertaining football, so it's a bit different.
Burnley's the other
Yeah.
team's coming up. Burnley.
Burnley's another one that's annoying, but I like Scott Parker, so they can get a slide. But I want my Sunderland to come up, obviously for personal reasons. I need Sunderland back in the Prem still.
Big shout.
I also think the Champions League race now is kind of what's kinda
keeping it-
keeping
keeping
it
it-
a bit more
yeah.
exciting right now. Again, United and Tottenham, if they weren't where they were, if they were actually had their heads screwed on and took things a little bit more serious this season, they could have been in that battle as well, and that would have been sensational. But we don't have that, so
Can I say one more
I'm
thing?
going to need a number for him, then you can...
5.
5,
It's
okay.
mediocre.
Can I say one more thing about United and Spurs? I can't lie, lads. We are so lucky that no Champions League teams drops into the Europa League, you know.
Yeah, big shout.
Yeah.
Because
Shout.
oh dear, we wouldn't still be here. Our seasons would be over.
It could very much
Our
be,
season
yeah.
would have been over already.
It could
But
very much be.
I have to put
But that's
that.
what I'm saying. So if it was competitive as it was like a couple years ago, oh God knows what would be happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this season a 4. Yeah, wasn't very impressed. Bad title race, bad relegation thing. I think it's just mad unimpressive. Man United, Tottenham, poor. So yeah, I'm just going to give it a 4.
And I think the fact that they've added the 5th Champions League spot kind of kills it a little bit. I think it's like if it was top 4, like wow, only now 3 teams can do it, but now 4 teams is like I don't know.
But it still kind of gives Villa, Newcastle.
Yeah. I
Them
mean,
lot
it's good
still
for
a
them,
chance
but I'm
to,
just saying for
yeah.
the excitement
For
in
the-
terms of
yeah,
it, it's
Even
kind of,
Forest,
Even Forest, I've
lose the
forgotten
wrong amount
Forest,
of
yeah.
games or drop enough points, they drop out of it.
But ain't City
Yeah,
6 points behind Arsenal still?
Yeah, this is mental.
So that's like another like Arsenal
might
have to look
finish-
over their shoulder a little
it
bit.
might
as well.
finish 3rd. If Arsenal finish 3rd in a 2-horse race, it's legendary stuff. Legendary
we've
stuff.
seen that before though in North London. But yeah.
But
I mean, no,
Yeah,
whoa.
That was dark.
Wait, because it's a myth. It's an urban myth, that one. Because Arsenal top of the league up until January 2nd, that season, by the way. Tottenham eclipsed them for a couple of months, but the Battle of the Bridge and the story behind that changed the narrative, and everyone was like, "Oh, Tottenham finished third in a 2-horse race." No, we didn't. Arsenal were actually second for majority of the season, or first for majority of the season. So that's a big myth. So please,
Okay, we're going to end that there. We're going to move on to a bit of FA Cup roundup.
Crystal Palace.
Going to the final.
Yes.
Up the Palace. I can't lie, that game,
Yeah.
Eze, cold finish.
Yeah.
Mateta, absolute animal. No goals.
Just say it. I know you want to get to him.
Missed the penalty.
Yeah, just say it.
But there's one man I want to speak about. Very talented young man, 21 years of age, dominated the midfield, off the ball, on the ball, progressive.
The boy from Lancashire.
Adam James Wharton. That is my hooper.
that one.
What a player. What a player. Honestly, I said it off camera. He could play for a top 6 club right now.
I clocked it. You love your centre midfield
I-
players.
I
You love
love
your,
centre-
you love your eights. You love your eights, innit?
I like the 8s and 6s. I like
He was a
people
6, yeah,
who can calm down. The midfield is so congested, but you don't feel like you're congested. I love you. You're just ice on your head. I watched him against Arsenal at the Emirates live, spraying it with both feet, breaking down play. Certain people will talk about their midfielder running around.
What were you doing at the Emirates, though?
Someone gifted me some tickets, and I love football. I'm a football fan.
Fair enough. So am I.
The best way to enjoy football.
So am I.
But back to Adam James Wharton, before I go on too much of a tangent, he's an exceptional young player. I think we should see him in another top, preferably a red one next season. And I think, bold claim, second best English midfielder right now.
Behind who? Bellingham.
Behind Jude. Second best English midfielder right now. And there's man on the list.
Do you
that
know
I
what?
get it.
I think because he's so young, he's got a lot to obviously get through as well. Especially in
Yeah.
that position. That position
Wait.
obviously a difficult position to play in.
Sorry, but wait.
Start naming midfielders, I know.
So you're gonna obviously the obvious one that everyone's gonna look to is Declan
Yeah.
Rice. Even your Mr. Kobe Menu.
Yeah, I thought about that when I was in my house. I sat at the wall, I looked to the wall. I'm going to say this on the podcast. I said I'm about to do my boy like that. Yes, I think Adam Wharton's game it can be implemented into a top side so easily because he can play the lone 6, he can play double pivot.
Are we just talking 6s and 8s, or are we talking 10s as well?
I don't say gives why, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking attacking midfielders. I'm talking 6s and 8s. People are going to play in the
Middle of the
double
park.
pivot.
Middle of the
Yeah,
park.
middle of the park. Phase 2, phase 1 players mostly.
Fair enough.
So yeah, bold claim I know, but
Rogers.
He's not really an 8. He's more
No.
he's more of like a winger / 10.
Yeah.
I've seen him playing 8 before. Though.
very attacking player.
Yeah, he's
but
more like a winger / 10.
listen, clip that, put it on there. Adam James Wharton, second best English.
I'm a
midfielder.
big fan of Wharton, to be fair. So
Another shout out I think I want to say as well is Eze because I think Eze's season, what he was leading to, everyone thought he's going to this is going to be a terrible season for him. And past few weeks and months, he's turned it around.
yeah,
So
I agree.
Eze, well done. And to get that goal, sensational, man. That goal was
Can you
brilliant.
talk about Mateta? Even though he missed the penalty, can we talk about Mateta's?
Oh yeah,
Mateta's
please
performance
do,
as well.
please do.
Sensational, man.
Do you
Sensational.
think- do you
Old school
think-
Nans are coming back, man?
Yeah,
They're coming
do you
back.
think
so.
Mateta and Eze definitely have to leave now? And Wharton.
I don't think Mateta just yet, but
Why
Mateta, I think
Why
Mateta needs
not?
to leave.
do
I
you know,
think-
you're missing someone out. Ismail Sarr.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
Remember,
yes.
he was ripping up at one point for Watford.
for Watford, yeah, a few years back.
I don't think he has the
Consistency, maybe.
that
Yeah.
Eze's really got something behind him. He's got like consistency for years. Mateta as well, and Wharton. He's a different type of player than Sarr, but yeah.
I think Mateta should call it a day at that level because of who he thinks he is. Remember, there was a point he even said Palace is a stepping stone. He's getting the goals, he's getting the performances, he's got the ability. I think a lot of clubs need a striker like that. Back to goal, he is banging. Even if he don't score, and this was even when he was playing bad. Back to goal, he's banging, and he's really found the knack for scoring goals.
Why not Arsenal go for him?
You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say that straight away. I was
Would
gonna
you
say that. I was
take
gonna
him?
say that straight away.
Honestly?
Yeah,
Big shout.
that's a massive
On a
shot.
cheap, though.
What's the
It's
cheap?
cheap.
He's not going to go cheap.
He's gonna cost you 60 mil at least.
Yeah, I'm going to say about
I don't
50s.
think I don't think we're spending 50 million on him. If we can try and get another.
How much you spend on Kai
Strike.
Havertz?
No, we're talking about striker. I know, but
How much?
I didn't make that choice.
How much you spend on Kai
I
Havertz?
didn't make that choice.
All right, I got a question for you then. If realistically, who's your top 3 targets for strikers? I mean, obviously, is that? But
Obviously, it would have been Isak,
let's say if you don't get Isak, then who else after?
Oshermans. And at one point, obviously, in the past, it was linked to Martinez, but I don't think.
Lautaro now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
We're gonna,
Inter will not get that.
Gonna need bank to get in.
Yeah.
Like,
we're gonna have to move on from this quickly, sorry, because we need to do score predictions and we need to talk about Man City and how they're going to Wembley.
Just talk about Man
Again.
City. Yeah, let's talk about Man City.
Yeah, quickly. They played, they won. Players that Kovacic played cold. Rico Lewis gets a goal.
Surely we
Pep's back with his wife.
Yeah.
Things are going good again. It's a little bit scary. That's the honest truth. Like, was Pep's divorce the reason why we didn't see a 2-horse race? Is that why?
He set it up for his last season in England to be the final piece of the puzzle.
The
Innit?
comeback.
I think so.
Yeah, definitely,
Scary, man.
definitely.
I think it's just boring. That's fact City there again. I think everyone would have loved.
Everyone would have loved seeing Forest and Palace in
Oh,
the
that would
final.
have been
Yeah, everyone
amazing.
would have
Nice
That would've been so
neutral
much better.
game.
Yeah.
Don't have to have your hat in any basket. Yeah.
And everyone would just been enjoying that game.
So-
now everyone's just a Palace fan that day. And
Yeah,
they-
Yeah.
literally.
Score predictions. Score predictions for that game, man. I know it's a bit. Well, it's a couple.
What for the final?
For the final. Crystal Palace versus Manchester City.
I'm gonna say 2-2. Palace win on penalties.
I like that.
I wish for that to happen.
Yeah.
But the reality speaking,
I think City brushed them.
yeah,
I can't lie.
I think it's gonna be like a 3-1.
They did
3-1
City.
City.
They had 5-2. They beat 5-2.
I'm gonna
I
guess
think
it's gonna be
so,
like
but
a
I think City
3-1
brushed.
City. Yeah, 3-1 City.
Yeah.
Palace might go 1-0 up and then City just turn it on. At
Marmoush
worst,
comes out, plays.
Haaland will be back by then. I think.
Ramesh is so impressive as well.
Mm,
He's really impressive.
De Bruyne is looking kind of sharp though.
yeah.
Oh, De Bruyne.
He's playing with
De Bruyne
freedom now.
last
I think he just
night.
knows he's leaving, so he's like, this way.
Oh yeah, I can't lie to you. It's gonna be 3-1.
I just deeped it.
The Bruyne last dance.
Yeah,
love,
yeah.
love.
I'm leaving with Sutton.
I would love for it to go all the way, like penalties. Palace put up a crazy fight,
Yeah, I would
but
love
I
that,
think it'll
yeah.
be done in the 90 with a 3-1 to Manchester City, and they still managed to come away with a trophy in their worst season in what 4, 5, 6.
And the Champions League spot, so that's a terrible season for them. It says a lot.
It just shows the level. It just shows the level.
Yeah.
That's actually the thing. Anything else to add?
How do you lot feel about Liverpool winning it as United fans? Because I'll be real.
I'm cushy.
I don't. I'm cushy. I can't lie. I'm kind of cushy. Like Liverpool, yeah, their fans are not really annoying. But
I'm
as
cushy
United,
as
as
hell,
a
man.
United fans,
I think in terms
apart
of
from Arsenal, they're one of your main rivals.
I think in terms of United's legacy and
That's what I'm saying. You can't chat to them. You
yeah,
can't chat
we
to
can't
them.
we can't really say much now. Saying like I mean
if,
For me,
if I was you, like, I still took my shit.
Nah, you
yeah,
can't
I think we still couldn't.
Oh,
For
I
certain
still
things.
took my shit.
I think maybe because of the generation I'm born in, it doesn't actually
Yeah,
affect me.
yeah,
I'll keep it 1,000. Like, I know a couple of Liverpool fans, and they're not in my face about Man United being dead. They're in my face about Liverpool being good. So
Unless
and-
you go up to North and Liverpool,
yeah,
then
I think it's a bit of a disconnect being a Londoner and a Manchester United fan. When people tell me about it, do I feel a type of way about it? Yes, but it's not something like I'm. As a London Man United fan, my true rival is Arsenal, and I know the internet's gonna hate that.
No,
but
the internet actually would agree with you on that because
My-
that's the realism of the
that's the
situation.
reality.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
real.
original
Arsenal
Premier League
winning
rivalry.
yeah,
the
yeah,
Premier
yeah. That's
League
the way
is
it is,
worse
yeah.
than Liverpool winning the Premier League from my standpoint because I won't be able to leave my house. So yeah.
I think recency as well. Recency bias is the fact that this is Liverpool's second Premier League.
Yeah.
You're not deep in it. If they're level with us and they've only have 2 Premier Leagues, how long ago was the fact that I'm not discrediting it? That
No, I
we
get-
can't
No,
discredit.
but
Obviously,
that is because of their dominance in the 80s and the 70s.
exactly, it counts for fair enough as honours, but at the same time,
We won 18 Premier
we've won that many.
That's why I told you that.
13,
That's why I told you that.
13,
That's why I told you that.
sorry, I'm bugging.
I'm taking Man United's legacy in the Premier League over
Oh,
everything. Even when it comes to all-time 11s, majority of my 11s Man United players. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. You can't have 13 Premier Leagues in that short space of time and tell me you're putting flipping Van Dijk in your back four. Sorry, DB. I know that wasn't
No,
that wasn't even a
I
dig
know,
at you.
I know,
But I'm just
I
talking about in like
I
a
know.
general consensus.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
bruv,
yeah.
you tell me Gary Neville and Ryan Giggs can't be in all-time 11s
That's
when they've
Van
got
Dijk's-
when they've got
that's-
first and they've got
two
10
Prem titles
Prem.
now.
Yeah.
That helps Van Dijk's legacy. Let's not even talk about that too crazy. But like, comment, subscribe. I've been DB.
I've been TV Nico.
Carlos.
Jarastafari.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. This is the BV Sports Show.